Hello and welcome to Hallam News. You're with Naveen Nair. Before going to our top story today, we have some breaking news coming in. The worker at the Leeds shop who was stabbed 3 days ago has now died at the General Infirmary. Things have been very quiet at this off-licensed shop since 3 robbers attacked a 43-year-old man working here on Saturday night. He died because of his injuries this morning. The worker was behind the till when one of the masked men stabbed him. Police still have no clue about the culprits. Moving on to the big story of the day, one person has been arrested in Sheffield as the city centre continues to lay under siege for the second day. 1,000 policemen from South Yorkshire have been on guard to protect the Lib Dem MPs from the protesters. The bill for the security are whooping £2 million. Protesters say it's a massive overreaction to a peaceful event. Peter Spencer has his report.
A message of defiance as flares were lit in front of Sheffield City Hall. A protester led away by police as thousands took part in a noisy demonstration, angry at coalition cuts. A Lib Dem delegate at one point coming to the fence to reason with the crowd.
We're not allowed in. We tried to get into the Lib Dem conference, they wouldn't allow. We're all here trying to speak to Nick Clegg, who's not coming out to speak to us.
The day began with people assembling on Devonshire Green. But the mood momentarily turned ugly when Lib Dem mayoral candidate for London, Patrick Streeter, tried to interrupt speeches. The march then snaked through the streets towards Sheffield City Hall. This has been one of the biggest security operations ever staged by South Yorkshire Police, with up to 1,000 officers being deployed over the weekend.
I think they might be a little bit embarrassed because they have been criticised. It is over the top, there's no doubt about that. To be paying £2 million of taxpayers' money for a security fence of that nature that we've seen down there, plus thousands of police and police vans, we don't think that's necessary.
In Barker's Pool, some Liberal Democrat delegates sat on the steps listening to what the crowd had to say.
I think there are children growing up today that are having their education and their future stolen from them because of the cuts that this government and Nick Clegg in particular are making.
They've not been voted in democratically. It's a coalition government. He did a U-turn on mental health, just like he's done a U-turn on students.
The police may face some criticism for the cost of this huge operation. But senior officers tonight will be satisfied that life, at least today, has continued largely as normal.
After the Stonehenge and Lake District, it's now the turn of the Shambles and Haworth to get into the World Heritage List. The Shambles is an ancient shopping street at the centre of York, and Haworth is best known as the home of the Bronte sisters. Both are set to enter the Heritage List. The final decision will be taken in the next few days, hoping to give a huge boost to the tourism industry. The garbage problem at Leeds is getting worse as strike by refuse collectors move into the third day. Health officials say if these bins aren't cleared in a week's time, there'll be a serious rat problem. The cleanup seems unlikely anytime soon because the stalemate between the council and the 200 workers still continue. The council has meanwhile planned to bring in non-union staff to do the job. And finally, bunting can be real fun, provided the material you choose for it is as exciting as this. We've all done bunting with paper, plastics and even cardboard. But ever heard of bunting with knickers? It can't get more feminine than this. Artist Julia Tristan's own recipe to celebrate International Women's Day. Kathy Killick has a story.
Knickers, briefs, undies or utilitarian pants. Call them what you will, these ladies' undergarments have all been donated in the name of art. They're being cut and sewn and strung together to make knicker bunting as part of a feminist carnival in York.
The carnival is about two things. It's about celebration of the amazing things that women do, but it's also about activism, about how we can change our lives.
And some people just walk past it and think it's bunting and don't even realise.
By their very nature, knickers are highly personal items and a big part of women's lives. Artist Julia Tristan wants to tap into this intimacy and reveal the myriad stories knickers can tell.
Somebody gave me their knickers that they had for one of the birth of their children and the story about that. Somebody gave me some knickers that she was wearing when she had her first kiss. Somebody has given me their luckiest knickers. And there's all sorts of stories that have come in.
The finished bunting is strung on what else knicker elastic and is fantastically colourful and varied. Each little knicker flag is weighted with a carefully stitched button. After the carnival, it'll be given to York University for display, flying the flag for real women of all shapes and sizes.
Never thought knickers will have so much of use. That's all we have for the time being. Stay tuned for more. Goodbye.